Well, well, well. We are back for another coaching corner this week. Super excited for you to be here with us. And for those that are checking this out on replay, maybe you're even watching it live, just want to say a word of welcome and point you back to our previous coaching corner where we dived into storytelling, the art of telling a story. Storytelling is sharing a narrative with an audience through language, movement, or vocalization. It can be done in many mediums, including spoken word, written text, film, music, or even dance. Storytelling can be done through dance, y'all. Storytelling is a social and cultural activity that can be used for entertainment, education, cultural preservation, or to install moral values. It can help people find common ground, empathy, and understanding. And I'll just go a step further for those who are like, but I thought this was a coaching corner for creators. You're absolutely correct. It is a coaching corner for creators. And if you haven't married the two up yet, creators are storytellers. Got a chance to be a speaker at my daughter's career day at her school. This is a couple years ago. So she was in, I think it was elementary, not quite middle school yet. Yes, elementary. And so they had a number of parents on tap, but they wanted a YouTuber because if you didn't know, the number one desired career path of middle schoolers currently is, you guessed it, YouTube. And so I got a chance to, they reached out to me and said, hey, we'd love for you to be able to come and share a little bit about being a YouTuber and what does it take to be successful on the platform. Joke is many of the kids in there are kids on social media and on YouTube right now that are their age, that are their peers, that are killing the game. So it isn't a concept. It isn't, these are not strategies that middle schoolers are unable to grasp. So I shared with them those three things that I usually share with you. Answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable. And the thing that was hilarious right there at the beginning of the time together there in this classroom, all these kids sitting on the floor in front of me, another parent had just gone there, some kind of defense, military, something or other there in Huntsville. We have a lot of military companies and organizations there. So this guy shares, I get up there, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Everybody trying to amp up the crowd, you got to amp up the crowd. I'm like, hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Everybody say, what's up on 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hey. And it was good. I had visualized what I wanted my time to be before I got up there. So I ensured that I was really hitting my marks. And I say, all right, settle down. Let me get into what I want to share. Because this is right at the beginning. And this hand goes up in the front and she's wiggling that little hand. I'm like, man, I don't want to ignore her, but I haven't actually got into the meat. I haven't even said anything. I haven't shared anything. I was just amping them up. I only had about 8 minutes total to be able to share with them. So I didn't want to devolve my time with them into just Q&A. I wanted them to leave with something tangible. So I say to the little one that has her hand wiggling in the air, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take your question. But for everybody else, we're not taking any questions until the end. Okay, we're just going to take hers and then we're going to take questions at the end. And so she asks her question and she says, aren't you my pastor? And I'm sitting there like, yeah. What church do you go to? So she says, Oakwood Church. I'm like, well, then, yes, I'm one of your pastors. That's amazing. And before I could move into the rest of my presentation, the rest of my points, answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable, she asks another question. This time she didn't even bother to wiggle her hand. She just blurts it out. So how are you a YouTuber and a pastor? And I while I was frustrated that she was speaking, I recognized that her question just set the stage for my presentation. Because being a content creator, being a YouTuber You have to have something else that you like to do, that you want to do, that you're interested in doing. YouTube in and of itself is not the thing that we come to YouTube to do. I come to YouTube to teach people how to live stream. I come to YouTube to teach people how to utilize platforms like StreamYard and Ecamm and EVMux and several others. I come to YouTube to help people have confidence and strategy around what's working in content creation. But I am not just building the YouTube universe. I'm not working specifically for Google and or YouTube. So YouTube in and of itself isn't necessarily a career. You have to bring to YouTube whatever your passion is. And so if you're not passionate about anything, you don't have anything to bring to YouTube. She made my presentation. That was the perfect setup for what I wanted to share with those kids, because that is exactly what I was going to land on after I gave them those 3 principles. Answer a question, be consistent, be vulnerable. But you've got to answer a question about whatever it is you're interested in. You've got to be consistent about whatever it is topic you want to share on. You've got to be vulnerable by sharing your life experiences, the quibbles and quirks, the idiosyncrasies, the things that make you uniquely you, both the good and the bad, because people will resonate. But you got to bring that to YouTube. So one does not just say, hey, I want to be a YouTuber, and then somebody signs you up to the YouTube line. You have to have something you want to talk about. And every person that is watching with us today, all 12 that are watching live and several of you that are watching on replay, you bring something to YouTube. Whether you're a gamer, whether you make natural crafts, whether you're a quilter, right? Whether you are do live music like David Hunt, maybe you do a Bible study like Just Torah. You may even train people on finances like one of my clients. You actually might be a sports enthusiast like Yolanda. Whatever you bring to YouTube is your thing. That's what you're passionate about. And one of the things that I want to make sure is clear is that storytelling, fam, storytelling is the critical ingredient that will differentiate what you have to share from everything else. And so we want to harness the power that lies within storytelling. I'm going to repeat this, and then we're going to dive into our time together today. Storytelling is a social and cultural activity that can be used for entertainment. Yeah, listen, I'll be honest. I'm a son of a prolific storyteller. My dad is the storyteller of storytellers. I was chatting with my sister last week, and we were saying, when a story's not well told, I don't even want to listen. My younger brother jumped on the line, and we just kind of talked about the fact that we sat at the feet of a master storyteller our entire lives. And so there are things, I shared this last week, that I learned in public speaker school, learned from my content creator coach, that about storytelling that I just do naturally, that they're like, Kirk, we spend months teaching people those things. But that's because I literally sat at the feet of a master storyteller for my entire life. Storytelling can be entertainment. It can be education. It can be for cultural preservation. As a son of immigrants from the beautiful island of Jamaica, there's so much that they help to preserve by sharing those stories of what life was like as a Maroon, one of the tribes in Jamaica. It helps to preserve the culture and history of our people, and it can help to instill moral values. Help people to find common ground. And there's no more greater purpose than right now than for us to each find common ground with one another. Find common ground, empathy, and of course, understanding. Let's dive into our coaching corner today. And let's hear what your questions are about content creation and anything else that you might have. But let's also go deeper with this whole thing called storytelling. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I got to tell you, I absolutely love this space. I love the coaching corner. It is one of my favorite things to do in the course of a week. And for those that are here and you're coming in, maybe you're brand new, maybe you're fresh, you're watching on Facebook or somewhere, and you're saying to yourself, what's the coaching corner? Well, it's quite literally the middle of the middle, right? It's the middle of the week in the middle of the day of the middle day of the week, right? So Wednesday at noon Central Time Zone, which I also call the Lord's Time Zone. And we pull aside from the hustle, the grind. I know this is your first week back and you're probably all still, basking in the rest that you received over the holidays, but this is still the middle of the week, the middle of the day. And we come aside for just a moment to assess, to understand where we're going wrong, what we're doing right. This is the coaching corner. For boxers, they that bell will ring and the coach will call them back to their corner. Better yet, the ref sends each opponent back to their corner, and the coach is there. The coach is there with some words of encouragement, with some tips, tricks, best practices, with some things that they need to fine tune and maybe adjust so that as they go back into the fight, they can do it a little better than they were doing it before. That's what the coaching corner is all about. And that's what we hope to be here Wednesdays at noon Central Time for each and every one of you. I want to thank all of you for being with us today. My name is Kirk Nugent, also go by the Geek Speaker Preacher. And I believe your content, your live stream is your digital storefront. No better way to go from busy and broke to peaceful and paid than for you, your ideal customer and audience member, to see you do your thing while live. We have so many people that are joining us today. I want to see if I can grab a couple of comments. Let's see who was here first. Oh, Tracy was here first. She says, hey Kirk, I'm armed with a cup of tea and looking forward to the coaching corner. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Web Dave says, great show, sir. Thank you for all you do. I'm glad that you're here. You put that up early, so I'm hoping that you're still with us today. So definitely excited to have you with us. Oh, my guy from Northern California is with us today. I think it's Darren, right? I think it's Darren. Darren says, hey, my friends. Hey, what's going on with you? Thank you so much for being with us. We're living water quilter. This is Geraldine. She says, love this. I love this. She says, hey to everyone. Love this. She's talking about the storytelling piece, and I absolutely love it as well. Great day, fam. Great day to you as well, Darius. Okay, and always good to have you. Thank you so much for being with us today. I see my good friend Florence Donald and our moderator. She's in the chat. Thank you so much. Oh, we got Florence is in the chat. Tracy is in the chat. That's Many Scenes GB, Florence's Equipment Institute, in case you didn't know. I like to learn names here just because I want to make sure that we get a chance to know one another. We're more than just the handle that we put on YouTube. And so I believe in the coaching corner. I want to be able to refer to people to their name by their names. So thank you guys, my moderators. Thank you so much for being with us today. Here's one that I wanted to make sure I get spend special attention to. Marquez White, thank you so much for being with us. I don't know if it's Marquez or Marquise. You'll let me know how to pronounce it, but I responded to you the day you purchased your session. I hope you got that email. If you didn't get it, check your junk or spam filter to make sure that I'm not added to that filter, because we did send you an email and it has some instructions in there on how to book that session. You've paid for the session and we're excited about that. We want to get you moving in the right direction. I would love to be able to get you scheduled and get your stuff situated this week. One of the things that I got a chance to do this week on Monday, I actually had a session. It's one of those tech media consulting sessions. You can book it right on my booking page on Calendly, which is kirkrnugent.live/book me, kirkrnugent.live/book me. That's where that page is. But one of my old friends, he booked a session, tech media consult, and we spent the hour that he paid for just designing his eCam scenes. And when we were done, he had an entire show. In fact, he even posted about it on LinkedIn, which I thought was so awesome of him to do. Posted about it on LinkedIn and was like, man, I've got these really great scenes already designed by my good friend, Kirk Nugent. I thought, man, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for showcasing that. And I'm like, man, let me go ahead and make sure that other people know that this is something that I do. Let's see here. All posts. I'm trying to find his post now, I think, because I think it's worth showing off to you guys. Here we go. Let's go to the screen. And so that's him right there. And he is showcasing some of the scenes that we built together during our session together. 1 hour we spent together and we built these scenes out. And he's already using them. One of the things that I love about this, the reason why I wanted to bring it up, is because not only did we spend that hour doing the work, but he immediately, like he's already put out a couple other posts using those scenes. He immediately began using them, not only for his live show, but also to create content. And I think it's absolutely awesome. So that is one of the things that I love to do, as is him right here. You can see he's kind of showcasing some stuff there. We built out all these scenes together. It's pretty cool. Let me make it a little bit bigger so you can kind of see a little more of it there. There we go. Sometimes LinkedIn quality is not the greatest, but you can see he's kind of showcasing to everybody, hey, I got 2 guests here. I've got another one where I've got myself a guest and maybe somebody else prominently placed. But so cool to be able to bring that kind of idea to life. That's what it's all about. And so there's a lot of ways that you can work with us. Yes, come to the Coaching Corner. We'll try and answer whatever questions we have. But for those of you who want to get something designed, want to be able to take the live stream and just take it to another level, let's book a session. Let's get into Canva. Let's get into StreamYard or EVMux. Let's design your whole show out in an hour's time, and let's see what we come up with from there. So many different options of ways to be able to do that. And I want to just kind of affirm my good friend Marquez White for signing up for that private session. And we're excited about it, hoping we can get you in there. There we go. Florence is saying this is how you get your questions in. Demolition News is on the live. Always good to be able to have my good friend. He says, I don't want to interrupt your flow, but I have a tale to share. One of my regular viewers, you were never interrupting the flow. This is what this space is all about. One of my regular viewers was made unemployed just before Christmas. Myself and the rest of the audience raised some money to see him through. That is so awesome. And he goes on to share, that's the power of community and the power of let's see here. I can't see the power of YouTube. Oh, there it is. The power of YouTube. It's on my screen. I couldn't see the rest of the comment over here. He said, that's the power of community and the power of YouTube. This is where we want to clap it up. Demolition News is doing the dang thing. This is why I want to know people's names. This is why I always love to be able to create a community vibe here on the channel and on the show, because these are more than just people who are commenting. These are more than folks who are, quote unquote, can be a dollar number or a figure on a bank ledger. This is a community that we've created. And yes, I want to be able to do this full time. So I definitely have to find ways to be able to monetize what I do. But what Demolition News has done for this community member is absolutely phenomenal. This is what I mean. And I love how he incorporated it into the chat, the different pieces, because this is, again, also a component of storytelling. This is a major component of storytelling. Oh, man, I see Darren is with us. He said, I'm bummed. The reason I was going to start my live broadcast just went out the window with some bad news. Plan B enacted eventually. Listen, I remember our session, and I think I know what you're referring to. Okay, he says it here. He says that the event that I was going to springboard my live content that I told you of, Kirk, is not happening this year. My community will have to wait. Well, listen, Plan B. Let's activate Plan B and let's get it. Marquez. I didn't see it. I'll take another look. Thank you, Marquez. Okay, I got it now. Marquez. I will definitely pronounce that name correctly henceforward. But I will follow up with another email today, right after we finish the Coaching Corner. I'll follow up with another email today, because I can see that you definitely want to get in there and get your stuff set up. So definitely looking forward to that. Actually, Florence, it's live. KirkRNugent.live/book me. KirkRNugent.live/book me. So hopefully, hopefully we can make that one quick adjustment. I think Kirk can help with anything YouTube and streaming. For me, it was planning and my approach. I agree. Listen, Tracy, I thank you so much. Of course, I had the name Mark right here. I have it literally right here. I had your name right here. So Demolition News is Mark. Mark is Demolition News. But I want to affirm you for what you did, because that is absolutely amazing. One of the things that I love about storytelling is that you don't have to wait for the story to be done to tell the story. You see, this is just too many. There's just too many cheat codes. There's just too many cheat codes. You know, somebody's listening right now and they're like, man, I heard Darren talk about, you know, something that he's doing in Northern California. Now the event has been canceled. What's going to happen next? Well, the story's not done yet. He's going to enact plan B. And so the story's undone. And how do you get to hear the rest of the story? Who doesn't want to hear the rest of the story? Who doesn't want to finish the series that they're watching on TV? Who doesn't want to at least fast forward to the end of the movie to see how it all turns out? Everyone does. And it's the same with storytelling. And when you infuse storytelling into your content, I don't care what kind of content you do. We had a masterclass this past Friday. Was it this past Friday? I think it was. We had a masterclass this past Friday on live selling with my good friend, Billy Thorpe. And even in live selling, you can infuse story. And in fact, I believe it's one of the best ways to sell is to infuse story. Storytelling is a cheat code, and you don't have to wait for a story to be finished in order to tell that story. Miggs is on the live. Thank you so much for being with us. This it's always good. Miguel is his real name, but we just call him Miggs. Miggs is his channel name, and it's actually his nickname. So we're excited to have Miggs with us as well. Tracy says, "Yo, Billy was amazing. Absolutely, absolutely." And I can see that Florence has the corrected link, and I can't thank you guys enough. You, my moderators are just so phenomenal. They're just so phenomenal, and I thank you guys so much for that. The thing with Let me say this first before I go further. I'm going to go deeper into storytelling. In fact, I have another story I want to share with you that I want you to see the story structure. But the thing that I want to share with you before I get into that is something earlier that Florence said was you put a Q colon in front of your question and that'll alert me that there are questions in the chat. I can see the chat right here. Even as I'm looking directly at the camera, I can see the chat right out of the corner of my eye. It's right here on the side. And if I see a Q, that alerts me that there is a question. This is the coaching corner. Your questions are the agenda. But I have some things that I want to share in case there are no questions. And maybe after I share, then there are some more questions. But the point is, the coaching corner is meant to be a resource for this channel. Maybe you watched a previous video. We just dropped one on the channel talking about, the different things that StreamYard just added, 50 plus new fonts. They've gotten rid of the brand tab. They've moved it to media assets and style. Those are two new tabs that they've added there. And I believe all of it is in a preparation for bringing and introducing scenes onto the platform. Maybe you have a question about that. Maybe there's something that wasn't as clear as you'd liked it to be. Maybe you watched a video that I put out months ago, years ago, and you're here now and you're like, oh snap, this is my opportunity to ask a question. In fact, this is what I trained with. This is what I tell people to do. Your live stream is a continuation of a conversation you started with your content. I put out the videos on Sunday. I go live on Wednesday, every Wednesday, in hopes that the conversation I started with my content, the conversation that I started with you as I created that video, and I told you this and this and this is how you do this, keep this in mind, think about this, employ this strategy. Coaching videos, how-to videos, StreamYard, EVMux videos, Ecamm videos, platform-specific videos, demo videos for unboxing videos for gear and gear reviews like the Rodecaster Pro or Rodecaster Video. These are all content that I put out, but maybe there's something that wasn't clear. And so if you have a question, go ahead and put that question in the chat, but by starting it with a Q colon, it doesn't matter what the question is about. Mark said, Mark, aka Demolition News, was like, well, I want to share something. I know it's a little off topic. There's no off topic. This is our space. Yes, I have a overarching theme that I want to stick to, but I'll figure out how to bring it back. And you ask your question because I want to make sure you get your questions answered. I want to make sure you get your questions answered. So I wanted to take some time to be able to share that as we get ready to dive into a couple of things. It looks like we got a couple more comments. So let me see what those comments look like. I spent so much time creating YouTube content for this music community. Now it's worthless, but I'll have other content to go live with. Was just a big shock to hear this morning. Man, that is sad. Man, this is one of the things when you're talking about having a niche. Listen, the other day, somebody said to me, man, if StreamYard, ever closes their doors, what will you do? I'm like, well, my content, I started by covering StreamYard content, but I refused to just cover StreamYard. I decided to expand. I cover pretty much any live streaming platform that is out there. I try to cover them, with the exception of a few, because I just feel like they're way too complicated for the audience that I have on my channel. And so I have several other live streaming platforms that I'm getting ready to launch some content with in the very near future, that I'm excited to be able to bring before you. One or two of them that I've done some tests with, I think are absolutely phenomenal. I want to use one of them to kind of showcase some things on the whole storytelling idea, so we can engage and interact around some questions, and you can see how this platform works. And it works with multiple different streaming platforms. So diversifying your content is always going to be good. And I think that, listen, I don't look at this, Darren, aka CP Cup Adventures. Darren, I don't look at this as a massive, as a letdown. I know you're going to have to go through those stages of grief. You did the work, you created the videos, you created the content. And so now here, this thing is gone. And so yes, it is a major disappointment, but I think if with time, you're going to see this is going to enable you to open up and look around for some of the other opportunities. Maybe there's something that is also missing from this space that you can provide, and it will be of equal, if not greater value to what you were going to do before. So I'm excited for you, even as you go through this time. Whatever, if whatever the community can do, we'd love to be able to share and help, because that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. I ordered my new Mac Mini M4 Pro. I'm excited, but it sucks that I've got to wait. I have the very last Intel MacBook Pros. Man, listen, I know that feeling. Migs. It's difficult. I should have told you to order through my Connect. Let me say our Connect. You know who the Connect is. It's a personal friend that we both have in common. You should have ordered through her, because even though they are on back order, because I ordered through her, I got mine within less than 2 days. So I don't know if you can cancel and still order through her, but drop me a DM and we'll chat about that offline. Marquez is back, saying similar to what I just said. Okay, I just dropped the comment from the screen. That's an opportunity. Of course, I don't know the details, but if there's more events, there's a void to be filled now. I think there, with some, take your time to grieve over the current moment. I'm not telling you to hurry up and see the silver lining. I'm simply saying, when you're ready, let's rethink it. And maybe there may be an opportunity there for you. There just may be an opportunity there for you. All right. Here's a question. What are your thoughts on the Rode Streamer X? I love the question. And I think I can couch the answer in a story. You see how I did that? And I see your question, Wale. I see your question there as well. I'm going to definitely come back to your question. I see, man, multiple questions coming in here. So let me make sure I star these. I don't want to miss them in case we get some some things here. Yes, Mig, see if you can cancel. All right. Thank you, Kirk, for inspiration. I need that MacBook Connect too. Hey, listen. This is somebody that I went to college with who happens to work at Apple, that both Miguel and I know, and that's why I know he can probably try to tap that resource as well, but she has not made her services available publicly. So that's where it is. I just want to kind of give that out there. Okay. I'm gonna try and grab these questions. Your questions are coming fast and furious. The Rode Streamer X is a very specific, it's a very specific use case scenario, and I think it is a great scenario because you have your audio interface off of your computer, you have your capture card again off of your computer, and you don't have to take up multiple ports for both. So right now I have a capture card and an audio interface, both of them plugged into the computer. I'm saving a port. So that's number one. Rode Streamer X, it doubles as both a capture card and an audio interface. Streamer X also can be paired directly with, it has buttons on it that work directly with platforms like Zoom, where you can, turn your camera on and off, mute your mic right off of the physical device. So the Streamer X, it has some very specific abilities. And if you're in the market for something like that, it could be very useful. If, however, you have need of multiple microphones, then the Streamer X may not really meet all your needs. Now, I've been told, I haven't tested this myself. I just want to share with you that some people are putting the Rodecaster Duo and the Streamer X together, right? They're daisy chaining one to the other, and then they're just connecting one source of audio to the computer. And what that does, it enables them to have more audio ports. And then, of course, the Rodecaster Duo will pair your Rode wireless mics. So there's a number of things. And again, what Rode is doing, David Harvey official with the super chat. Come on. You guys are killing the game. Thank you so much for the super chat. David Harvey, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Just showing some support to the fam. I can't thank you enough. Your support means the world to me. That brings up another story, but let me finish by saying, in terms of the Streamer X, there is a very specific use case. And so you want to make sure that if your use case is outside of what that thing particularly provides, Migs, that you don't purchase it. Make sure that you test it properly, so that you understand exactly where it is. You can connect your camera if you have a DSLR. Now, I did see somebody that purchased the Streamer X. They don't have a DSLR. They have a USB webcam. They have one of these Ozbots, or what is it called? The Insta360. Those cameras will not necessarily connect to the Streamer X. Again, you got to make sure you understand what the components are. And so what are my thoughts on the Rode Streamer X? I think it's great. Rode has taken the route of Apple, where they're creating an ecosystem of devices that work very well together. And so what you're seeing now, similar to even, what's the name of the company? Elgato. Similar to Elgato, you're seeing people just kind of lean into an ecosystem for their studio. I've got a Rode mic. I've got a Rode mic arm. I've got, the Rode video. Maybe I've got the Rodecaster video to be able to have video inputs and audio inputs. It's got two inputs for video inputs. It also has, the ability to design some things. So people are kind of staying within their ecosystem. Same with Elgato. You got the Stream Deck. You have the lights. You have the mic arm. Now you have they have mics as well. You've got the Elgato teleprompter. And so you have these ecosystems that are being created by these different companies. And I think that's the Rode Streamer X, in my opinion, is the segue device that between the Rodecaster Pro and the Rodecaster Video. The Rode Streamer X was the first installment, the first video type device that we saw from Rode. Heretofore, they had not created a capture card of any sort. They'd never done anything with video. And then they jumped from the Rode Streamer X to the Rodecaster Video, which is now a competitor to the A10 Mini. But in my opinion, it is not a competitor to the A10 Mini. It's a totally different device, and I have a video on that. But I know I've taken more time than I should. I hope that I answered your question. Several other questions are coming in the chat. Again, I want to say a word of thanks to my guy, David Harvey Official, for the super chat. I want to say this, man. We had 2 people join membership on YouTube in the last 2 days. Somebody joined day before last, somebody joined today, and I did a quick shout out of them. And I saw Tracy, I saw your comment on that shout out to them. And I just put a reminder in the member community tab on my YouTube channel, letting them know that as members on YouTube, you also have access to a subgroup of the Workers Warehouse. And I want to say this to those who are like, oh, okay, what's membership all about? You're basically supporting the channel in a tangible, regular and consistent way that allows us, again, it's $9 a month. But what that means is if I get a couple hundred people who have signed up at $900 a month, what that means is I can actually stop doing certain other things and really focus my attention on just creating content on this channel and really serving this community in a tangible way. So I just want to share that as well. If you are interested in booking a session, kirkarnugent.live/book me. If you're interested in supporting in a consistent way, you can hit up the blue join button right here on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, join us over on YouTube and you can hit that blue join button, and that will get us where we want to be. I see my good friend Billy is here with us. It's the man, myth, the legend. No, it's you. And I want to say thank you for coming and hanging out with us today. I see your question. I've got several questions starred now, so let me see if I can knock out a couple of these. Okay, Wale's question. I'm coming to you, Billy. I hope you can stay around. Wale says, when doing a live using Ecamm, is it best to have someone run the production and create the scenes? Do you have any content that shows how to create different types of scenes on Ecamm? I definitely have some how-tos on how to create scenes in Ecamm. And you know what? Maybe that needs to be another video, Wale, because that is a very good question. So I have a video where I talked about how to create vertical scenes for both Ecamm and EV Mux. That's a very recent video on my channel. But if you just take that same concept, right, and to the portrait, landscape platform, like, so instead of vertical, letting it be horizontal, then it will work for you as well. So I mean, even the scene that we're in right now, I could easily just kind of showcase how to build that. But I will definitely add to my content list a video on how to build, let's say 5 critical scenes that every Ecammer needs to create. I think that's, oh man, now that I say it out loud, I'm like, that video needs to be created like yesterday. I hope nobody heard me. Don't create that video. That's my video. But thank you for that question. Wale, I think that is a good question. And to answer your earlier question, so you add 2 questions. Do you have any content that shows how to create the different types of scenes on Ecamm? I answered that one. The first question, however, was, when doing a live using Ecamm, is it best to have someone run the production? Okay, let me flip back to here and let me show you my BTS. This is me in my home studio by myself. I don't believe it's necessary for you to have somebody run the production for you. I do not. So no, I believe that you can run the production yourself. I do. I believe you can run the production yourself. And I think that's actually probably the preferred method of running it. That's the way that I teach how to run it, is to run the production yourself. But you're not creating scenes on the fly. You create the scenes ahead of time. And then when you're in the production, it's just a matter of flipping between them. You see how I've just kind of moved between my scenes, between this one, and then I've got a share screen here. I've got my top-down shot, if a top-down shot was actually working. But the idea is you have predefined scenes that you've already designed. And for this particular show, I just have a handful of them. My main one, my intro video, the one with my overlay where I'm by myself. This one, I have the host plus top-down. I think that's this one. I have host plus screen. I think that's this one. And then I have the host plus comments, which is this one. And so those are the ones that I have for this particular show. I have an outro video, and then I have some buttons on the Stream Deck that allows me to switch my camera. But other than that, I know, based on how I want my show to flow, these are the scenes that I absolutely need. And for the most part, there are some scenes that are standard. And so what I did with that the client that I showcased just a second ago, this one here, what I did was build out for him the standard scenes plus a couple of unique ones that were going to be specific to his show. And we did that. We went a little over an hour. I didn't charge him anything extra for that, but we did that in an hour's time frame. So I think that'd be a great way for us to be able to walk that through. Hopefully that's something that's of interest to you, but if not, just, hold tight. We're going to create that video and hopefully get you across the line. I don't know if one of my moderators can just drop in the chat the Ecamm playlist from my channel. There's an Ecamm playlist. If you go to my channel, just click on playlists. You should see there, one of them says Learn Ecamm. in that you'll see a number of things. In fact, I have a free course for Ecamm on my channel as well. It's older. You have to scroll down a ways to find that playlist, but everything is curated, and literally it's video 1, video 2, video. I mean, like I literally walk you through the platform. So definitely something to consider, and hopefully that will help you to get across the line. My good friend Florence says, when will you do a review of the MV7i or have Laura come to do a masterclass? So I definitely would love to do something with that. I've already reached out to Shure to do some things with that, and we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. It will be interesting to really come up. I think it would be great to be able to cover that product, but yeah, it's basically, again, one of the things I was saying about the Rode system is that you have, they've basically created a ecosystem. Let me go to, just in case others don't know what we're talking about, Florence, but this looks like the mic I'm using. It looks like the MV7 Plus, but it is an entire interface that they have, so that they've called it the MV7i. And this thing does a number of things. In fact, you can actually connect another microphone to it. You can actually connect another microphone to it, and then have that microphone. Oh man, it's just so many different ways that you can utilize this thing. So you can plug USB-C into your computer, plug another microphone into the XLR port, or you can plug a piano or a guitar, and then you can plug your headphones to monitor everything right here. It's a game changer. If I can just share that I actually saw this mic in action when I went to Shure headquarters last year. So definitely, I just say that to say I am in conversations to see if we can't make that happen. So definitely excited for that. And thank you for the question. Marquez says, I've been through 4 audio interfaces since I don't have control of the music output levels. Do I need an interface that has special routing software, or will Loopback handle that? I'm a Mackie DLZ creator. Okay, that's a good question. There's so many different variables that will come into play. What is your streaming interface? Or are you even streaming? Are you recording? Or how are you creating content? There's a lot of different pieces. And I'm wondering why you've had to go through 4 audio interfaces. Is there something that you're not getting from each of them? There's a lot in that question that I would need some follow up on. I know you're saying, you followed up to say that it's on a Mac Mini that you're referring to, but what software are you using? Ecamm? Is it some web-based software? Marquez, Mackie DLZ is a really nice platform. What are the other interfaces that you went through, and why did you have to get rid of them? I would want to hear that. So I'm going to see if I can follow up with you in just a second. Billy Thorpe has a question, says, do you use the Elgato teleprompter? I have one on the way. My son broke his iPad, so mine has been confiscated. Let's go back here and let's go back to BTS. That is the Elgato teleprompter right there. I'm pretty certain you can't see it. Let's see if we can't. We'll try and do it a different way, but that is the Elgato teleprompter that is right in front of me. That's where my notes are. That's how I maintain eye contact. That's basically how I do my show pretty much every week. I absolutely love it, especially for being able to read scripts, because it has the script software. It is a game changer. So do I use the Elgato teleprompter? The answer is a solid yes. A solid yes. So thank you for the question, and I hope that we were able to get you across the line. Let's go down here a little bit. Hey, Christian Saz is here. Says, hey there, my guy. Man, audio is my topic, he says. Audio is my topic. Okay, cool. Yeah, that thing is hot. The MV7i is a really crazy device, and I'm glad that Florence brought it up. So definitely excited to be able to share a little bit that. Here we go. I got to run, Kirk. Just wanted to stop by. I can't concentrate. I got to get some work done. Thank you. See you all soon. Thank you so much, Darren, for being with us today. And let's see what else we got here. Yep. Florence posted a link in the chat. So hopefully you guys can see that. There is a free eCam course on my channel, and I'm glad Billy thinks it's fire. I love it. That's a good video idea for sure. I need to make that about shoppable content. Absolutely, yes, that you need to do, deal Billy. I'm definitely going to make that today. Not today, but I'm going to add that to my list today. Doc Bashara says, join the channel until I officially join the warehouse. And you see that yellow dot next to his name? That is a indicator that he is a member on our YouTube channel. You'll see that yellow dot on several other people's names as well, because we have several members that are watching live with us today. Okay. Okay. Miguel says, thanks for your insight. Rodecaster Duo just came up on my radar. Then I saw India cover their Streamer X. I'm torn between buying for my immediate use case or buying with the future in mind. I will be honest with you, sir. It is very difficult. When you're talking about audio interface, it's very difficult to not go with the biggest one. It's really difficult not to go with the biggest one, because you really handcuff yourself when you don't. Now, in my home studio, I really don't need more than one mic. But I've got 3 connected and a 4th one on the floor. So in case, just in case you want to know, what's that 4th one? It's the Shure SM4. And so Florence, real talk, this stuff is just coming in. So when I say I'm in conversation with Shure, there's still products still on their way in. So I'm hoping to be able to do some stuff with them. And yes, definitely excited to be able to showcase some of the things that they have there. Okay, Marquez is back. I think he's giving me some more context. He says, I'm using EVMux. The music is coming from Stream Deck music, but I want to be able to control that channel through the interface. It changes levels in headphones, but when I listened to the recording, it didn't change. Yeah, so there's with EVMux, you have as a producer, you have a level that you can change, and then you have a level that's for production. There are 2 different levels for EVMux, so you definitely need to keep that in mind. Secondly, I'm wondering, when you say coming from Stream Deck music, what Stream Deck music? I guess you've loaded some music onto the Stream Deck and you've added Stream Deck. I'm assuming, again, you're gonna have to give me some more context, but you've probably added Stream Deck to your audio interface. Like, you've created a mic with loopback, and then that mic is your mic for EVMux. If that is correct, let me know. I'm going to actually just open up EVMux real quick and showcase what I mean when I say you have 2 different levels that you can actually pull from. So hopefully that will be helpful to you as well. All right, let's enter the studio. Okay. It's still initializing, it says. All right, so especially if you have studio mode turned on. Let's transition that joint. Okay, so let's go to, what in the world? All right, so let's go to screen. So this is EVMux next to me, and if you have if you have studio mode turned on, you have this audio is going to just affect what you hear, but your live preview audio is going to affect what is actually live when it goes live. So you do definitely have some things there you want to look into. But in addition to that, I think the other thing that he was referring to is a app called Loopback. And we're going to skip the update. Been trying to get me to update for a little bit. Where's my Loopback? There we go. He came up on another screen. So here is Loopback. And so what I'm assuming, and again, I'll go back to my comments in a second. I'm assuming what you've done is you've built out a mic like this one, right? There's a mic here I have called VMic for StreamYard. When I click on it, you can see that the Elgato Stream Deck is here. And so if I load music onto the Stream Deck, it will also load that into it. That mic will be able to be selected in whatever platform I want. And then I can take that mic and utilize it for my streams. So I hope that makes sense. Not looking to confuse, just want to kind of showcase a little bit of what we are talking about as we get into some of the things that we're doing here for our live show today. Some of the questions that are being asked are really good ones. Trying to sync up. No worries. Okay, so let's see here. All right, let's see here. We got a couple of things here. It is a nice yellow dot. It is a nice yellow dot. He got a boatload of mics. I do have a lot of mics. I do, and so yeah. If you even look behind me, there's even more that I use for different purposes, for voiceovers, for different things. But I do have a lot of mics. So having the 4 inputs for me actually has helped because I don't need to plug in anything else. I just plug XLR into that additional input, or I'll sometimes even plug one out and plug another one in and go for it like that. So hopefully that makes sense. Deal Billy says that's right. The what if will run that gear bill up. Yes, like what if I need this? What if I need that? Yeah. Stream Deck Mobile. Yes, loaded music into Stream Deck. Okay. So okay, yeah. It looks like what I assumed is correct. Into Stream Deck button since it's actually live and not delayed. That is correct. Okay. So you are using that. So now the question becomes, so I guess you'd have to go into your Stream Deck software to configure the music on the level on that button so that you can control how that sounds. Or in Loopback, you should be able to, in Loopback, you can actually take that one audio interface, right? So let's go back to the screen. In Loopback, you can actually go right here to adjust just that one line for your Stream Deck so that you can isolate that audio in the way that you need to. So there's some options there, but hopefully that's helpful. It kind of gives you something to start with because yeah, you definitely want to be able to have control over that audio. And like I said, we have a session booked, so I'm excited to be able to chat with you, Marquez, in our session that you already paid for. So we're excited about that. Let me see what my guy Christian is saying. Says, "Aw, snap. Sorry, just got off call. Dude was trying to sync up. I have an answer. It's called single source of truth theory on audio." Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, cool. And we appreciate that. So we appreciate that. All right. So Doc Bashar says, didn't know that I can load music to the Stream Deck. So many possibilities with all this technology. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can definitely load music to the Stream Deck. And let's showcase that real quick because like me, if you're like me, you want practical and tangible examples of what it is we're talking about. So I'm going to go to a button. Let's see here. I haven't. Okay, here we go. Soundboard. Yeah. So let's go back to screen. Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's right there. Okay, so let's go back to host plus screen. There we go. So you should be able to see it over here. So what I've done is just go to the top here where it says soundboard, expand that, and see where it says play audio, stop audio. And I believe if you're going to have Stream Deck audio playing, you want to have both. You want to have stop audio. You want to have a stop audio button on the Stream Deck, and you want the play audio button as well. So we have that stop audio one there, but this one here, you'll notice when I click on that one, you have a number of options. And so I can actually go and choose a file. I can choose a file, but go into music and go into, let's go to just do the Kirk track and click open. So now that's going to play that MP3. I can change this name to whatever I want it to be, because you can see that that's what it looks like on the Stream Deck Kirk track. Then even here in the Stream Deck, you can adjust the audio, and you can actually say, okay, want it to fade in and fade out. The action that the Stream Deck button is play and stop, or you can say loop/stop. So the first one is what the button will do when you hit it the first time. The second one is what the button will do the second time you hit the button. So loop/stop is probably the one if you're going to use it for background music. But if it's like a sound effect, you just want it to be play and stop, right? You just play and stop, right? You don't want it to be loop, because you don't want a gunshot going off over and over and over. And that's the idea behind it. So I'm going to put loop and stop. And once that button is done, I can if I go to the top down, now you can see the Stream Deck, and this is the button that we just created right here. And when I press it, it is playing music, and it actually has a little graphic there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but you can actually see that it's playing music. But I don't have this particular mic. I don't have that mic, the mic that we're looking at. I don't have that mic actually associated right just yet. So I'm going to press the button again. And here in loopback, you'll see that audio is playing now. So you have that ability to do that. And if I want, I can turn this up or turn it down. And again, there's just so many different areas to be able to control that audio that you want to be able to make sure you get a chance to take advantage of that and see exactly what you want to do there. So hopefully that makes sense. There are so many different ways to be able to get this stuff done. But I hope that is useful to you as we are kind of playing around with some things here today. You guys are on a roll. Any experience with Shure MV2XU? I sold my Rodecaster. I'm going to try out this for my SM7B. Sold all my what if gear. I'm sure I'll get the next Rodecaster. So I'll say this, Billy, what I do with it, I definitely have the MV2. Yeah. I definitely have the MV2XU. And it works perfectly. One thing that I will say is make sure to get the software. There's a software that goes along with it. And it allows you to dial in your sound specifically for the SM7B. And from there, it's golden. So basically takes the SM7B and makes it into USB. So this will do the job for you if you have it. And I usually keep this in my go bag. So you never can tell when you come upon a situation where you have a bunch of XLR mics and no audio interface, and it's like, okay, hey, let's just plug in one, and we plug that in, USB the other side out. Use the Shure software to be able to dial in my sound, tweak it a little bit to give me the sound that I'm looking for, and you're good to go. So definitely, I love that. So love that. Yo, my guy David Hunt is here. Says we live. We are definitely live, sir. Okra for everyone, especially just Tornado. You gotta be kidding me. That's crazy. Jim Lawyer is here. Says we do some live streaming from events where they play copyright music, which prevent us from talking live as the music is in the background. Is there any way, software/equipment? So Jim, if you're asking how to play copyright music, the answer is don't. The answer is don't. It's a solid don't. Just don't play copyrighted music. Only play music that you that you have the rights to play on your live stream. Only play music you have the rights to play on your live stream. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot tell you how many times I keep on coming across people who are like, yo, I'm trying to figure out how do I get, like, I was talking to a group. They're like, we have this group of dancers. They want to do this dance on the live stream to this particular song that's very popular right now. And I'm like, you can't. That's somebody's music, and you're going to get a copyright. Or maybe you don't get a copyright strike, but maybe your audio will be muted. Maybe the video will be pulled down. Maybe you will get a copyright strike. You just don't want to use music that you do not own. And to be clear, just because you're a fan of that person, I want to say it this way. I have actually done live broadcasts for the actual music creator. Like, it is their voice on the song, and they can't stream their own music on their own live stream. Can't be done unless you get some special dispensation from the label who holds the copyright of the music. You cannot play copyright music on your live streams in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And there are so many ways to get around that now that it's not even become something that we want to even have a long discussion about anymore. There's so many options for playing music that kind of just sets the tone or vibe. Now, is it going to be popular music that you want to do covers and all this other stuff too? No. Instagram license a whole slew of music for people to use in their reels and stuff. And so all you do is you create your reel. And then when you're uploading it to Instagram, you add the music that way. That's different. You're using the music that's already licensed. But if you were to add the music before you upload it to Instagram, illegal. So I hope that makes sense, y'all, because I'd always pause here on this type of question. I always pause here on this type of question because I want to make sure that we get that clear. My guy Dwayne Wood is in the chat, says, can you comment on why there is a thought that the Rodecaster video is taking the place of the ATEM? They have different use case scenarios. People don't so Dwayne, I know you personally, and I know what you use. In fact, let me just share, you can see the yellow dot right next to his name. He's a member on the channel. Dwayne is also a member of my team here locally in Huntsville. An eCam expert, I would say. And if you haven't checked out his channel, you should. Definitely some really good content on there. But Doc Wood is, you already know what eCam can do. You already know how to design scenes and everything like that. For many people, that component of the Rodecaster video is foreign to them. So for them, they see the Rodecaster video, they see that it can take many camera inputs, they see that it takes a high quality audio input, and they're like, this is better than the ATEM. So there's the ATEM. One of the major complaints that people always had about the ATEM is that the audio, those 3.5 millimeter jacks that it has on there, that's not for high quality audio. And so if you're taking an out from a board and trying to bring it into your ATEM, it's going to be trash. Whereas that Rodecaster video, you have two XLR combo jacks. I mean, literally, you can plug anything you want into there. And essentially what I usually do with the Focusrite and the Rodecaster Pro, I have them both at our church. But what you're able to do, you're kind of combining those into one. So the ATEM, what I should have said, with the Focusrite and the ATEM, you're combining them into one. You have those two XLR ports, and then you have five or four HDMI inputs. You can do one USB camera on the Rodecaster video. So to answer your question, why are people looking at the two of them as comparable when they really do different things? Many people don't even consider the fact that you can design the scenes on the Rodecaster video. That takes the Rodecaster video and puts it in a league all of its own. But for people like me and you, the ATEM actually is a better device because I want to design the overlays in my streaming software that I'm going to be using to stream to the different platforms. And because the Rodecaster video kind of does all of the above, it's overkill for those who have a streaming software like EVMux or Ecamm or StreamYard or whatever, right? It's overkill for that. Why is it overkill? Because if you're going to design the scenes and everything in the in the Rodecaster video, but you don't get the comments, you don't get any of those other pieces on the Rodecaster video. So you're still going to need, if you want engagement, you're still going to need a platform like these, and it doesn't quite gel. It doesn't quite make sense. So hopefully that I've given you some of the bones around why people are looking at it that way. And then of course, my personal opinion in terms of where the Rodecaster video sits. It is not for somebody who already has a way to stream with comments like what you see today. I can't do this comment with the Rodecaster video unless I add a streaming software. And as soon as I add a streaming software, I have no desire to design any scenes on the Rodecaster video. And at that point, it becomes a comparative device to the ATEM. I'm just using it to switch. And so hopefully that makes sense. And thank you for the question, Doc Wood. Always good to have you come through and hang out with us. Always good to have you come through and hang out with us. Christian Sad says it's easier to get sound into EVMux if that's your platform. Yes, it is true. It's easier to get sound. And the music is live and not delayed. So if you sing along with the music, it will be in sync, unlike the music in EVMux would be delayed a bit. Agreed. So, well, and I want to be clear why that is, Marquez. Your music in EVMux is already when you're doing a tier 2 streaming platform, web-based streaming platform, you have to recognize the different hops in the chain. And I think this is what Christian Sass is trying to talk about. One source of truth for audio. When you have those hops, at every hop, you're introducing delay. So from my microphone to the audio interface to Ecamm Live to YouTube. In your case, in EVMux, it's from my microphone to your audio interface to EVMux, and then from EVMux to YouTube. So your audio is getting to EVMux at a particular time frame. But the challenge is that if you're playing the music in EVMux, the music is actually already at EVMux. So mic is here, music is here. I've got to make those two hops to get there. By that time, the music has already gone out the stream. And so it's not different for Ecamm or any of the others. When I play music in Ecamm, right here from sound effects, I'm hearing it. My voice is, I'm going to hear it the same time you hear it, but my voice is going to be delayed from it. I hope that makes sense. So I play music directly from the Rodecaster Pro. The buttons on the Rodecaster Pro, I play, if I'm going to sing along with it, I'm going to groove to it, I play the music directly from here because the music from here is going to go the same route as my voice from here. And so essentially it will have the same delay. You're playing it on the Stream Deck is going to have the same delay as opposed to playing it on your streaming software. So if you play it through Rodecaster Pro, it's going to have the same delay. If you play it through Stream Deck, same delay. That's the kind of idea, and I hope that makes sense. So just wanted to kind of give a little bit more of a reason why the music is that way. Want to be able to remove, not wanting to play. Okay, so wanting to be able to remove, but okay, so sorry. Maybe I misunderstood you, Jim, and I thank you for coming back to clarify. So my apologies. I wanted to make sure that we made that very clear, and I hope that you're still here because I want to lock in with you. So he says, we want to talk live and not have background music. So maybe I missed the first point. What music is playing? We do live streaming from events where they are playing. Okay, the event are playing copyright music, which prevents us from talking live as the music is in the background. I read that completely incorrectly. So I apologize, Jim. That's on me. And listen, I'm not perfect. I get things wrong. So I thank you so much for being willing to come back and clarify. Other people would have just got pissed off and left. So I thank you for being willing to just clarify. Want to be able to remove the music without editing. So what are you using currently for your audio? Because there are some ways to really get good, clean audio, even in a noisy environment. You change the noise gate on your audio interface. Let's say, like if you were using a Rodecaster Pro, if you change the noise gate, it's really going to just pick up the closest audio source to it. And as long as everybody's kind of like eating the mic, you should be able to get a good clean recording without having the background music in the audio. But I mean, how loud are we talking? I mean, is it blaring where you're yelling at one another, or talk to me. How loud are we talking about? I mean, I guess that's the real differentiator, because if you're in a noisy environment, it's going to be very difficult to get a good, clean recording without doing some editing on the back end. And it sounds to me like you don't want editing, but based on what I'm seeing from your comment right here, where you're saying no editing. So talk to me about what interface you're using, and maybe I can kind of walk you through some pieces there as well. Christian is doing a whole masterclass in the chat. Which is cool. But yeah, all right, cool. Hey, and Dwayne Wood says, thank you. Hey, my pleasure, man. Definitely excited to be able to share and answer some of these questions. I wanted the Rodecaster video so bad, but I have Ecamm. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Yeah, you have Ecamm. It doesn't, I don't know that it makes sense to really do. Yeah, I don't know that it makes sense to really do the Rodecaster video, because, and again, let me take it back. It's a very specific use case. If you're somebody who's like, no, I'm not live streaming, I'm doing podcasting. Like, I have a client who has a podcast studio. I think that Rodecaster video is perfect for them. In fact, that's exactly who I bought it for. I bought it for them, and then I was able to create content on it while I was setting it up for them. I think it's perfect for them because they don't live stream. They just record the podcast. They have, they've got, a couple of mics. And so what we do is we daisy chain the Rodecaster Pro 2, because you can do that. You can daisy chain the Rodecaster Pro 2 and the Rodecaster video. You can daisy chain them. Oh, that's beautiful. And so we have 4 mics on the desk. Those 4 mics are going into Rodecaster Pro. And then from the Rodecaster Pro, our Rodecaster Pro 2. So from the Rodecaster Pro 2 into the Rodecaster video, and then Rodecaster video is capturing I think we have 3 cameras. It's capturing all 3 cameras, ISO. And we're able to live switch. So we get program, right? Whatever the live switch we did while we're recording, we have all 3 individual cameras recorded onto the hard drive that's connected to the Rodecaster video. And so now I take that, I send it to the editor video edits the video. We have a very clean, high quality end product. In that scenario, Rodecaster video is golden. I mean, especially from the perspective of once I got it in there and got it set up, we were able to take some of the overlays that my editors were adding in post and add them to the scenes that we designed in the Rodecaster video. We're golden now. We are golden, y'all, golden. So, and being able to double up on some of those cameras and get multiple views at the same time and record it that way. And not only record each individual camera, but even the scenes ISO. So you can switch from a wide shot to a designed scene with an overlay. It's pretty dope for that particular use case. But again, if you're a streamer and you're interacting with comments and people like I am right now, yeah, no. It's not it. Hit the like button if you are getting value. Hey, thank you so much, babe. That's my wife right there. She can see the blue rent. Oh, he says that was it. Tier two. That was it. Tier 2. It matters when you're monitoring. Yes. You need to monitor and sync to your SSO. Yeah, to your shot. Absolutely. Totally agree. God is great. I've been wanting to have this conversation with you about SST, and you brought up what I've been wanting to ask for 2 months about Tier 2. Oh man, that's awesome. The event is in submix. Yes. Jim says no worries. Thank you so much, Jim, for being so patient with us. And Nea, I feel like I haven't seen you in a little bit. I want to say thanks for being with us today. Thank you. I've been delinquent, not really checking the chat as much as I should. So I'm pretty certain you've been here for quite a while, but I just wanted to give a quick shout out. Jim says EVMux live streaming, but willing to use external hardware. Very loud music in the background. Okay, so it's gonna. I know Jim, that it's a tall order. For so you're using EVMux, and I'm assuming you're using EVMux to stream, or are you using it to record? Because if you're using it to stream, there's no editing; it's going to go out the stream. And of course, if you're using it to stream, that's where the copyright would come in, because you're hearing the music in the background. It's really going to come down to the audio interface that you're using and how you have those mics tweaked. Is there any there? And I'm assuming there's no way for you to get away from where the music is being played. In this scenario, I do something at my church where we are in a side room. We can still, hear the music that's being played in the main sanctuary, the main hall, but in that side room, it's a little bit muted. And so with the mics and some tweaking, we're able to get a very clean broadcast as we stream from that room live. But depending on what the person does, if they stop talking, the mic, kind of opens up and it starts to pick up all kinds of stuff, and maybe it will pick up some of the music that's in the room. My live mics seem to lose a huge amount of background noise. Yeah, but if they're playing really loud music, lav mics are not the way. I would definitely look into some things. Now, Crisp AI, so David and I agree. Crisp AI is definitely something to look into. But when you say no editing, you want to be able to live stream this. Crisp AI is something you'd have to take the video and run it through Crisp AI after you've recorded it, and maybe that'll clean it up and allow you to post it later. So there, you do have some options for that. And I see, Christian is saying you have to use a mixer with sub mixes, but I'm just assuming if this is, if you're using EV Mux, you're trying to travel light essentially, and so carrying a lot of equipment to a particular event where they're playing the music may not be ideal. I don't know, but you'll let us know, Jim, in the chat what you have there. But I want to thank you so much for asking your question today. Anthony T. Ladson is on the live. Thank you so much, my friend, for being here. It's always good. Christian says, I'm using the L8, upgrading to the Rodecaster Pro myself. Awesome. Have me on anytime and we'll do a masterclass on your channel. No doubt. Put me in, coach. He says, put me in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Christian, you can email info@howitallworks.com for coaching session or to be live on the coaching corner. That is correct. If you drop an email there, or if you scan the QR code that's at the top left of the screen right now. Live stream. That's what I thought, Jim. I knew you were going to say it's a live stream. So because it's a live stream, it's because it's a live stream, it's going to be difficult to run it through Crisp AI or anything like that. So definitely something to consider. I see several people are jumping in the chat now. Albert Harris says, would love an Ecamm video. Please do. And just to expand or expound on that a little bit, Albert, you mean what I talked about earlier in terms of 5 Ecamm scenes that every streamer should have or something like that? Is that what you mean? Or did you have something else in mind in terms of things you'd like to see from an Ecamm perspective that you're trying to learn? I'm definitely going to do an Ecamm video. In fact, I'm going to try and shift around my content schedule and do one this week. I'm going to try and put one out this week and see what we get. Basically indoor cycling races coverage, not really quite not really a quiet place to stream from. Yeah. I can only imagine. Whoa. My good friend Sharona is on the live. We were texting this morning. Definitely got to figure out a way. It's just a matter of finding a topic, but we're going to figure out a way to get her in for a masterclass. We're excited about that. David Harvey is on the live, and listen, I'm going to do this right now. David Harvey, I actually said this to Kanique some time ago, and I was like, next time I see David Harvey on one of my live shows, I'm going to make him a moderator right then and there while we're live, like right then and there while we are live. Yes, I see that. That's cool. All right, let me turn down my volume on this thing, and there's David Harvey. We'll tap him and add as a moderator. Boom. Done. David Harvey is now a moderator on the channel. I've been meaning to do that for some time. There's no time like the present. No, so we just went ahead and get that done. But yeah. Excited to see all of you guys with us today. I did have some kind of a story to share. And I definitely still want to share it. What we were talking about, listen, all of the things that we've talked about today are all things that are questions you guys have, things that you're up against, you're trying to figure out a way around, to be able to get your message out there. And we want to make sure we get all of those questions answered. And I hope that that's a jolly nice blue wrench you have there, David. Hey. I'm excited for it. Welcome. Oh, Jim Lawyer just joined membership. Thank you so much, Jim. Jim just became a member on the channel. Listen, this is what I love about this. That's absolutely amazing. Right here, right now, my man said, I'm hitting the blue button. I'm coming on in and I'm joining membership. I love that. And Jim, I'm going to shout you out in the member section in the community tab on my channel, but just scroll down a little bit on the member section. You're going to see something that allows you to join a subgroup of the Workers Warehouse. So we're excited about that. We're excited about that. But this is awesome, Jim, man. I'm excited. Thank you so much for, again, you guys' support. It's just been absolutely amazing and phenomenal. I want to make your success is part of why I do what I do. I realize and recognize that there's some things that I learned about doing live streaming. I want to say this. I probably don't say it enough. And again, I was talking to my wife about several things: membership, my consulting options, booking a training session where we sit down and we just knock out some of the issues that you have. There's both half-hour sessions and hour sessions. So if you feel like, man, can't necessarily do 250 right now for an hour, but I can do a half hour, right? So 125, you can book that session today. Membership, $9 a month. Hit that blue join button. That will get you into a subgroup on the Workers Warehouse. I post behind the scenes stuff, different member content. If you see our masterclass series that we have on the channel, First Fridays, all of those videos are only available to members in both Workers Warehouse and on YouTube. So there's a number of ways that you can engage. But one of the things I am learning and sharing with you because I am a practitioner, because I am still in these spaces, still doing these things. I'm still recording podcasts for clients. I'm still recording my own podcast, still have my own live shows that I'm doing. Right now, my church is in the middle of a 21 days of prayer. We are streaming live every morning at 6 a.m. every day for the today is day 4 and we have, 21 days. So it's an amazing experience. But again, there's so much that I learn as a practitioner. So I come here and I'm coaching. Coaching is absolutely the joy of my life. It's the highlight of my day to be able to sit across the screen from someone and really just kind of dig deep in what it is that they're dealing with, whether it's confidence, whether it's storytelling, whether it's value proposition, whether it's target audience, maybe it's niching down. I love that stuff, but I am a practitioner. I do this on a regular basis. And because I'm doing it, I come here on this channel to share with you what I've learned, some tips, tricks, best practices, how you can get across the line. There's so much that I want to share, but time will not permit me to do all of it. I'm already over my time for today. The coaching corner is only supposed to be an hour, so I definitely want to get gone. But I do want to do this because David Harvey, with the fresh blue wrench, just went ahead and gave another super chat. Oh my word, LOL, thanks. And here's some more support from me and the other mods. This is so absolutely awesome. And on top of that, Christian Saz just hit the blue button and said, I want to become a member too. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. You guys have this does my heart joy. I mean, really, you have no idea what you are enabling me to do when you guys hit these buttons, when you join, when you support, like David has twice in one live show. David has actually dropped some money, and I think that's absolutely awesome. And I want to say thank you. I truly appreciate it. I see we have a comment here. I'm going to grab it in just a second. I am so happy to have found this channel. I am new to this and haven't a clue. I'm learning from watching. Thank you for the content. It is my absolute pleasure. And let me know what I see your channel name, but let me know your real name, number one. Number two, let me know what platform you're using, so that we can ensure that we point you in the right direction. There's so much content on the channel. We want to make sure you guys have access to those resources so that you can get across the line and achieve your goals. So cool today that we've had several people Um, join. I didn't realize I wasn't a supporter. Thought I was. I'm with you, Jim. Jump in. Jim joined. Christian joined. David Harvey has been supporting with super chats. However you feel to do it, it's totally up to you. But we could not share with you our appreciation more. It's humbling. It's humbling to be able to see it all come together. Even my wife is in the chat just saying this is so awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. You are very much appreciated, Kirk. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm almost blushing at this point. Daniel Greer says, is this being streamed on StreamYard? And the answer is no. This is Ecamm Live Pro. Just in case you want to see what it looks like, this is what Ecamm Live looks like on the back end. Ecamm Live Pro. It is a Mac only streaming platform, and it is my primary content creation tool for both podcast, produced videos, and for live streams on this channel. I mainly use Ecamm Live, but I always showcase every streaming platform that I can find. As long as it's relevant to my community, I definitely make sure that I do that. So thank you for that. Christian says, you should be a curator of coaches. I like that. No, I'm not using EVMux. I'm using Ecamm Live. EVMux is also a great platform, but definitely using Ecamm Live. Welcome to several of you in membership. Absolutely. Okay, we got a question, man. Listen, this is absolutely awesome. And I see several of you are just chiming in. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you, David. Daniel Greer saying, but do you send Ecamm to EVMux? Nope. This is straight Ecamm streaming to both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. I'm not using anything else. This is just Ecamm. I hear you. I saw your question, Christian, and I thought I could just answer it real quick. I see Michael Flemings is in the chat, says, please remember to hit the like, share, subscribe. He's jumping in. Listen, everybody's a moderator today. All right. I've got it. Let me grab this, and then let me grab this question again, because I've got to get out of here. You guys are just amazing today. So V Team Paranormal says, hi, I am switching from StreamYard to EVMux soon. Do I share YouTube videos on EVMux like I do on StreamYard? Okay. Do I share YouTube videos? How do you share YouTube videos with StreamYard? You just share your screen, I'm assuming, right? So talk to me a little bit, V Team. I'm assuming you just share your YouTube. Yeah, you share your video. Yeah, you just share your screen, because you can't share unless you download the video. So I want to say the answer is yes. You would share your screen in StreamYard, and you would probably do the exact same thing in EVMux, but how to do it and where it's done is fairly similar. It's just slightly different, but basically you would share your screen. You would share your screen in, your smile is contagious, keep rocking. You would share your screen into EVMux, and in EVMux, however, you do have some options in terms of how that screen is presented. So you might be able to kind of design some scenes, but just on its base, I don't want to get too technical, but on its face, yes, you share screen in StreamYard, you would share screen in EVMux. And in fact, I mean, pretty much all of these platforms, up to and including Zoom, they all have that same little interface. Do you want to check this box for sound? It looks very similar in EVMux. But I don't know if you know this, V Team, but I'm super visual on this channel. I don't like answering a question without actually showing how to do it. So I'm going to actually show it to you. If you stick with me for just a second, I'm actually entering the EVMux studio right now so you can see exactly how to share a screen. Now, I don't know what screen I'm going to share because I'm already showcasing. I'll be sharing my screen, which is EVMux, and I don't know if that's going to work out too well. Anyway, but I'm going to show it, and we'll see how we can make it work. All right. Let's go. Let's get out of studio mode. Let's go to, let's get there. Let's go to dynamic scene. Live version. Okay, so here, and we'll add that to the scene. Let's now. All right. Oh, I actually have to share screen. So this is EV I'm on a dynamic scene. I would recommend staying there because that's going to be the closest to that's going to be the closest to StreamYard. And then from there, you see this little arrow that says right here, share screen. You want to click that. And this interface looks pretty much exactly like how StreamYard does it. I mean, it's exactly the same. So you have the little toggle here for audio. And so you have like, okay, if I do this, definitely want to share that screen. I didn't have any other, let's go to YouTube. Let's just pull that up. Let's go back to EV and we can share that screen, and I'll just say share. Now it's sharing the screen and it automatically goes to the screen so that I can interact with the screen. But in EV you'll see here at the bottom that it's added, and I can add myself as well. It made some changes here. So no. Oh, there we go. All right. So I don't know why it was full. You can, there's a lot of different ways to be able to share it, and you can actually switch the two to make, between yourself and the shared screen. There's a number of ways to be able to get it done. So but I hope that kind of walks you through the process. You just hit that share screen icon right there, and you hit the X on it. That automatically stops the screen share. So that's how you would do that in EV and I hope that that's helpful to you. So again, we want it to be super practical here. I want to make sure that you guys actually get a chance to see what it looks like. So hopefully that is useful. Hopefully that is useful. It's useful. Yeah. No, I'm with you. She says StreamYard is too expensive now. Now it is too expensive. You are correct. And they say, thank you so much. Okay. I did have another comment. Let's go here. From I don't know how to say your channel name, but I'm glad you shared that your name is Leah using StreamYard and Riverside FM. Scarlett, you probably have a Scarlett interface, audio interface, so that's cool. Leah, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for rocking with us. And listen, Leah, I cover a lot of StreamYard content. So if you have any questions related to StreamYard, what I would say to you is just drop a question on a video on YouTube. Just drop a question on the video on YouTube. Drop it. Just find any video. It doesn't even have to be a StreamYard video. Just ask your question. I respond to all questions and comments. Now, it would be helpful if it was a StreamYard video, but I'm just saying if you really find yourself in a pinch, just drop a question on a video and we'll make sure we get that question answered. All right, let's go. I'm an EV convert because of Kirk. Come on, I love it. Yes, indeed. Yes, when you are Saber while you're alive. I love it. Okay, I would venture to say I've become an EV master. Oh yeah, you definitely have become an EV master. I love it. For some reason, EV took away the YouTube widget in their apps. I noticed the other day, and it used to be there. So I want to be clear on this, Marquez. The widgets in the apps and widgets store that EV has, EV owns the store, but individuals who are programmers are able to program things and put them in the store. Now, I don't know if the YouTube widget was a EV widget or if it was somebody else that created the widget and put it there. So like there are a good amount of apps and widgets in there that EV created, but to be clear, EV owns and has made available the apps and widgets store and its integration with the platform. But not every widget in there is a EV created widget. Hopefully that makes sense, but you still may be correct. I just wanted to kind of point that out, that you do have that differentiation there. Here's a link to a video in the EV playlist from Kirk. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. And so that is for V Team. V Team. Hopefully that is helpful to you. V Team, what's your name? We got Leah's name now. We got all kinds of folks. Wait, Willie R3 is here? I didn't see Willie R3. I see David Hunt responding to Willie R3, but I don't see him in the chat. Where did he go? Man, it's just, oh, okay. Willie R3. Yes, there he is. Yes, sir. You're doing an awesome job at providing, man. May God bless you to reach more. I subbed from last time I caught the live. Thank you so much, Willie R3. I know you were here before. That's why I wanted to make sure we got a chance to shout you out. Thank you, moderators, for keeping me honest. I love that. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. All right, cool. This is what I want to say as I get ready to close it out for today, because I mean, the time is far spent. We've had a really great time. And look at this, right as I'm getting ready to bring it back up, I get this comment from Geraldine. And how do I pronounce it? Am I saying Isla? Is it Isla? If I'm saying that correctly, just I don't mind being corrected. I lived in South Africa for 5 years. I was being corrected on how to pronounce names all the time. So Isla is with us. Leah is from the other channel, and I believe Mark. We clarified who Mark is with Demolition News, and we got Christian here with us. David, Living Water Quilter is Geraldine. I just want to try. I know it's going to be impossible, but I want to try to make these name associations in my mind, so that I can actually call people out when they come in the chat. Geraldine brings up this point. She says, Kirk, thank you for the reminder to tell stories in real time as they are happening. And I want to say that's where I want to close. That's my final point. I started by talking about the importance and the critical component that story plays for each of us as content creators. You could be a podcast host. You could be a live streamer. Is it Tim or what is it? I can't remember the name now. Somebody, a lawyer, was talking about streaming at a biking event or whatever it was, but. Daniel Green. We got it's just so many people coming through the chat. It's so exciting to see all of it coming together. Jim Lawyer. All right, but Jim talked about streaming from an event. It doesn't matter where you are, what you do from a content perspective. Story is always going to be a great tool in your toolbox, and the better you can tell a story, the more you can create dynamics in a story that allows people to be drawn in, for you to know that those tools are at your disposal. That's number one. Number two, that a story can be told even if the story is undone, especially if you know you will have another opportunity to come back and share the remainder of that story. Story can really help to get past the guards, man. People do. Anytime I get a chance to do a public speaking event, when somebody flies me in to do an event, to speak somewhere, I make sure that I start with a story. I make sure right up at the front, right at the beginning, I'm like, hey guys, let me tell you this story. Did you notice that that's what I did today? When we first went live, I told you a story about being a speaker at Career Day at my daughter's school, who at the time was in elementary. I start right there. Do you know what that does? It immediately draws people in. It immediately causes people to be like, oh, let me hear what's the remainder of this story. Or I try to start with a particular piece of content. I am trying to get away from largely starting videos and doing either a countdown or a intro of any sort. I'm trying to cut all of my intros down to less than 5 seconds. I'm working with my media team on that. Even 3 seconds if I can pull it off. There's a show that we're watching called Matlock, my family and I, and the intro doesn't even take 3 seconds. They just put Matlock on the screen in some random place, and then they fade it back off, and the main character just continues on, because we are losing people's attention when we do these things. And so that's something that I've recognized, and I'm trying to get rid of it because I don't want to lose that attention. So I go live. I say, hey, did you know that storytelling is a social and cultural activity? I'm asking now a question. And the reason why I'm still saying storytelling, even though that question is not a part of a story, is because the overarching experience in this live show is one cohesive story. See, every question that's asked is a small part of that particular person's channel story. So when Leah shows up and talks about, I use StreamYard, I have the Focusrite, and I do these things. When Leah shows up and says that, right? Riverside FM, when Leah shows up and says that she's just giving us a very small piece of her story. When, I forgot the name. When Billy shows up and he's asking about the Elgato teleprompter, and he tells us that my iPad, are you seeing it now? That my iPad, my son's iPad broke. You see it? And because my son's iPad broke, my iPad has been repurposed or confiscated. So now I've ordered a Elgato teleprompter. Are you seeing? Each question is a part of a small window into each creator's story. And that story becomes part of the fabric of this live show. This is why live streaming, top of the content creation pyramid, because no other form of content is watched more. You can't leave, or else I'm not going to get the rest of the story. Even if you know the answer to the question that is being asked of me, you want to stay so that you can nod your head. Yep, Kirk. Yep, you're giving them the right answer. Or to be able to say, yeah, Kirk, you gave them one side, but remember, you have this piece as well, because you're part of the story too. And any content that can allow people a opportunity not only to get a peek into the creator's story, but also into the story of those who are coming in seemingly, I want to be clear on this, unplanned, because it is unplanned. It further galvanizes them towards the content. Like, this is a space on this show. This is a space where I can ask a question and not only get help from the person who's on camera, but from the people in the chat. People are sending me links. People are encouraging me. People are clicking on my avatar, checking out my channel, checking out my last live stream. People are asking me, how can we hold you accountable? This is a community story, but it's still a story nonetheless. And the more you can incorporate story aspects into your content, live, podcast, pre-recorded, produced, doesn't matter, short form, reels, the more you can incorporate story. I did a short where I brought a comment on screen, answered the question in less than 50 seconds, and that was the short. But that comment that came on screen was part of somebody else's story. This is the cheat code that I want to leave you with as we get ready to close it out for today. Here, the coaching corner for today, was it Wednesday the 8th, January 8th, Wednesday, 2025. We talked about storytelling. We talked about your questions, and we tried to answer as many of them as we possibly can. We shared with you ways that you can engage, that you can support this particular platform. Several people joined in membership. So dope. Some people have booked sessions. I can't wait to meet with Marquez, who has a session booked, a single coaching session, live video coaching session booked with us. I'm excited about that. Looking forward to it. We showcased other ways that you can engage with us as well on my booking. But also, I think that the main thing is we got a chance to hear from people where they're stuck, right? What their challenges are that they're looking to overcome, looking for solutions. And we did that together in this space, and it becomes part of this community's story. And when people feel like they're part of the story, why wouldn't they come back? Like, why wouldn't you join membership? Why wouldn't you support the platform so that we can have more connection points like this? That's what I want to share with you today. And I hope that you receive it. I know that it seems like it's all over the place, especially for those who are watching the replay. It's like, yo, this conversation is going all over. They're talking about gear. They're talking about mics. They're talking about audio interfaces. They're talking about platforms. He's sharing his screen. He's showcasing different things. He's asking for clarifying questions. This is part of it. Isn't going to look clean, but I want you to kind of see it from the overarching meta narrative of the full story, the full community story. And you're very much part and parcel of that. And I hope that you received that today. Okay, let me shut up. I see several of your comments coming in, and I want to grab a couple of those before I hit the end button today. The coach is coach. I love it. Kirk, you are the coach. I saw what you did there. Come on, you guys are having way too much fun. I saw Dr. Vibe coming in earlier. I want to see what I missed. I missed so much. I missed so much. Okay. Oh, yes, Kirk. Thank you for the reminder. That's what Geraldine said. And I thank you for that. Love that. Tell the story in real time, AKA IRL. Streaming needs a story. I love it. Thank you, Equip Institute. Share your story. Okay, Dr. Vibe says, greetings, family. Just getting here now. Just finished a recording for the Fatherhood show that I co-host and co-produce that is sponsored by Dove Men Care. Absolutely awesome, Dr. Vibe. You're killing the game. We're excited for you. We celebrate you. That's amazing. Just Tora says, great show. Been working on a deadline project and listening in the background. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Come on, Tora. I love that. I love that. Story is everything. His story is best. I see what you did there, Christian. I see what you did there. I'm just starting out doing live stream. I don't know if you responded to me earlier. Isla. I don't know if you responded to me earlier. I was just trying to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Isla. But that is so dope. We're super excited that you're starting out with live streaming. I think it's going to be awesome. And we're excited to see what happens with you with those. Same rule for live as for the edit. Totally agree. Because live becomes video. Yes, it does. And you can edit that thing up. Kirk, you're the coach. I love it. Let me see what else I got here. My Elgato prompter is set to be delivered tomorrow. Finally saved up and got that doohickey. Oh man, I'm glad for you as well, Tora. You're gonna love it. They're adding functionality and features to it, so make sure you update it to the latest rev as soon as you get it, so that you get all those functions and features right out of the box. Oh man, I love it. I'm hoping I can use my iPad as a second camera to display things on a different area of the room when I'm live and switching back and forth. Don't know if that's possible in EVMux. It is. It's just a matter of how you structure your live show, but it's possible to do. The real question is, how are you going to get your iPad as a camera? You may have to use some different software for that. Maybe Camo is one. Elgato has some software as well. And if you have a Mac, your iPad camera might actually work with continuity camera. So there's some options there for you, Isla. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Isla, thank you so much for being with us today. David Hunt is putting some fire emojis. Good Deet says, hey, Kirk, thanks for the content. It has helped me so much. I am super excited that we were able to do that with you, for you. It is absolutely amazing. Guys, this has been awesome. Land that plane like a pro. Absolutely. This has been awesome. I can't thank you guys enough for coming through and hanging out. If you were not here today, this whole thing would not have worked the way that it has worked. Several of you would join membership. I hope that you take the other step of coming into the Workers Warehouse in that subgroup for YouTube members. But fam, thank you. We're almost 2 hours at this point, so let me shut up. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Super grateful and thankful for your time and attention today. We'll see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Grace and peace, fam.